Dr. Khan, I don't think everyone here was on the call last week. Maybe just a little bit of hope because you're so good at that piece.
That's very kind of you, and a good reminder of how faith is such a wonderful way to bridge across communities and divides. I think we often forget that part of faith, and this is a good example of that. So there's lots of hope. So I just read today that all states in the union now are vaccinating teachers, which is excellent. Most have gotten to about 65 and older, and that's good news because 80% of deaths in America were in those 65 and older. So the dying is going to stop very soon, which is wonderful news. And then you couple that on even more news, which is we're vaccinating about 2.2 million people a day, towards vaccinating about 3 million a day before the end of the month. And we have vaccine contracts in place thanks to the current administration. By the end of May, there will be more vaccine than people in America who are eligible for vaccine. And by the end of summer, we actually we'll have twice as many doses for the number of Americans. We have 6 million doses, about 300 million Americans are eligible based on the current guidelines. And we are already doing studies in kids. And so the hope is that going into the fall, into this and winter, and definitely by next year, we may even well be vaccinating children. So there's tons of wonderful hope out there. What we need to do is what you've just discussed, which is, and so this all goes to the supply side of the house, right? Right now, the demand outstrips the supply. But at some point when the supply is more than the demand, then we need to address what I like to say is vaccine confidence. I don't like to frame it negatively. I like to frame it positively. And this is the wonderful work we just heard described, the Do Right campaign, Do Now campaign. This is to help people foster trust in the vaccine, that this was a very deliberate, open process that got us to this point, and be able to share the fact that, almost 75 million doses have been administered at this point, and we have lots of good data at this point to share how safe the vaccine is too, and the effectiveness. Anybody can, we have lots of good data to show around effectiveness here. You could show the data here in our state in terms of how deaths have actually plummeted in nursing homes since we've started vaccinating people. So lots of wonderful news about vaccines. Let's just encourage people to get the first vaccine they can when it's their turn, and please continue to stay safe until we're all vaccinated.